Hello there. You'll see me today, quote unquote, in my normal outfit. I'll be talking to you today in this position again about checks and captures and how they lead to you being able to take and find the correct move in a position. I like this one because it just shows how you can take and find a move that's not a check or a capture by looking at the checks and captures. So let's go ahead and get started. We've got one check here. We start with the queen. No checks with this rook. Check here with this rook. So queen comes down, bishop takes, rook takes, queen takes. That doesn't really do us any good. Okay, rook comes down, king takes, comes over. That's not doing us any good. Alright, but as we continue to look at these checks and captures, we see that the king really doesn't have any escape squares from a check. And the only person really holding this together back here is the bishop. So, by looking at the checks and captures, we find out that the bishop is overloaded. In other words, if this bishop wasn't here, a check here would definitely mean the end of black. So what do we do to get the bishop out of the way? Well, we play here. Now that creates a unique type of overload. You got a piece hanging in prize. It can't be taken. If bishop takes, then we simply play queen down, check. And if the bishop comes back, we take with this rook. If the queen takes, then we take here. The bishop comes back and we take with this rook, and it's still mate. So we can try to defend the bishop, which isn't going to work because there's no place to defend it from. If the queen comes over here to e8, that's really not going to work out too well because I'm going to wind up. I think I can get away with playing bishop takes bishop, and then after queen takes bishop, then I would simply play check again. So queen to e8, bishop takes bishop, and I just win a piece. Can't take me back. And you got to find some way to block it, so you'd have to take and play back here. So if you take, that's no good, because I'm going to come here again. Check. So let's go back one more time and look at what actually happened in the game. In the game, they decide to play here, thinking they have a counterattack on the queen. Again, not realizing the overloaded nature of the bishop, and that if we go here and the bishop takes, now we go here mate. If we put our queen there and the queen takes, then we play rook takes and bishop takes, and it's mate again. So again, the whole idea here is if you're looking at every check and every capture every time, regardless of what you think, whether they can take you or not, whether it makes sense or not, as a means of seeing where everybody can and cannot go, you discover from this position that this bishop is overloaded, and once you put the bishop here, you're threatening it and it can't go anywhere. So, like I said, keep trying this with all the puzzles you solve. Keep trying this with all the positions you play. I know some of these, to some of you, may seem relatively simple, but don't worry. It's going to get complicated soon enough. And we'll go ahead and do one or two more of these, and then we're going to move on to part 2 of the rule. See, every check and every capture every time, regardless of what you think, whether they can take you or not, whether that makes sense or not, to see where everybody can and cannot go, was part 1 of 4. and a couple more diagrams. After we've given you an opportunity to look at a few more complicated things that have to do with a check or a capture, we're going to take and introduce you to part 2 of the rule. So have some fun with this, and I'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye.